The investigation of possible Russian interference in the U.S. election is reportedly looking into whether President Donald Trump may have obstructed justice. The special counsel heading the Russia investigation is Robert Mueller, a former FBI director. He plans to interview 3 Trump administration officials to study possible obstruction of justice, multiple newspapers reported. The reports in the Washington Post, New York Times, and Wall Street Journal said the information came from individuals with knowledge of the investigation. Mueller is reportedly seeking interviews with Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats, National Security Agency Director Michael Rogers, and former NSA Deputy Director Richard Leggett. The reports said Mueller is looking into whether Trump sought help from Coats or others to end an investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Flynn was removed from his job by Trump in February. He also was a top supporter of Trump during the campaign. White House officials said Flynn was let go because he had lied to Vice President Mike Pence. Flynn was dishonest about past contact with Russia's ambassador to the U.S., Sergei Kislyak. Comey served as FBI director for nearly 4 years before Trump ordered his dismissal last month. Comey testified before a U.S. Senate committee last week. He said Trump told him he hoped he would drop an investigation into Flynn's possible connections to Russian officials. Comey said he found this troubling because the FBI is supposed to operate independently of the president. Trump's personal lawyer, Mark Kasowitz, said in a statement after Comey's testimony, the president never, in form or substance, directed or suggested that Mr. Comey stop investigating anyone. Trump has repeatedly condemned the investigation and called news coverage about it fake news. He has denied there was any collusion between his campaign and Russian officials to interfere in the U.S. election. He took to Twitter Thursday to criticize again. They made up a phony collusion with the Russians story, found zero proof, so now they go for obstruction of justice on the phony story. Nice, Trump tweeted. In a second tweet, Trump said, "You are witnessing the single greatest witch hunt in American political history, led by some very bad and conflicted people." Obstruction of justice is the crime of taking actions to interfere with an official investigation. A person could be using threats or force to influence, delay, or block the administration of law. It could also include providing false information to prosecute. The target of obstruction may be a judge, juror, lawyer, witness, or law enforcement, or other government official. The suspected obstruction must show evidence of corrupt intent. Legal experts say this is a very difficult standard to meet. Jonathan Turley is a professor at George Washington University School of Law in Washington. He says he does not believe there is currently enough evidence to prove the charge against Trump. The president is not facing a particularly compelling case of obstruction for prosecution at this time, he said. Andy McCarthy, a former federal prosecutor and now a fellow at the conservative National Review Institute, agrees. He said that as head of the executive branch of government, Trump has prosecutorial discretion to end an investigation. Therefore, he couldn't conceivably have thought he was doing something wrong, McCarthy said. Louis Michael Seidman is a professor of constitutional law at Georgetown University. He also does not see a case for charging Trump. However, he said Comey's removal after refusing to carry out the president's wishes is a serious matter. No one outside the White House is contesting the fact that that is what happened, that Director Comey is telling the truth, Seidman said. If he is telling the truth, that means the president has lied about it, and that is a further indication he may not be fit to be president of the United States, he added. I'm Brian Lynn.